when we multiply or divide by a negative number, we have to flip the inequality sign. What do I mean by flipping the inequality sign? I mean, if we had something like this, by flipping it, we would have to change it to this. You can see here the mouth was on the right. After we flipped it, the mouth was on the left. Or if we had something like this, it doesn't matter if we have this part or not. We're just flipping this part. So if we had something like this and we wanted to flip it, it would turn into this. So here we had the mouth on the left and the point on the right. After we flipped it, then the mouth turned out to be on the right side and the point was on the left side. That's what I mean by flipping. But remember, we only have to do this if we multiply or divide by a negative number, not when we add or subtract, not when we multiply by a positive or divide by a positive, only when we multiply or divide by a negative number. Now let's see why. You can see here I wrote the inequality. Negative 3 is less than 4. Or you could read that 4 is greater than negative 3, however you want to look at it. Anyway, I wrote it a bunch of times, 6 times. And first of all, is this true? Is negative 3 less than 4? Is 4 greater than negative 3? Yes, of course it is true. Here's negative 3. Here's positive 4. You can see that positive 4 is further to the right on the number line. So it is bigger than negative 3. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some things to both sides of the inequality. Let's say I wanted to add 2 to both sides of this inequality. Why do I want to do that? I just want to. Nothing is going to cancel here because I'm not using the same numbers. So nothing is going to cancel, and I don't have to do this. I just want to do it. I just want to do it, and I want to see what happens. So I'll add 2 to both sides, and over here, 4 plus 2 is 6, and negative 3 plus 2. If I start at negative 3 on the number line and I go 2 spaces to the right, I get negative 1. And now I want to ask myself, is this true? Is negative 1 less than 6, or is 6 greater than negative 1? Well, here's 6, here's negative 1. Yes, it's true. 6 is bigger, negative 1 is smaller. So that works. Okay, what if I wanted to subtract 2? Again, I don't have to do this. I just want to do it, and I want to see what happens. Well, 4 minus 2 is 2, and negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. Is this true? Is negative 5 less than 2? Is 2 bigger than negative 5? Well, here's 2. Here's negative 5. Yes, 2 is bigger. Negative 5 is smaller. So this is true. So far I've added, I've subtracted, and nothing went wrong. I kept the same inequality sign that I started with, and everything worked out fine. Let's keep going. What if I wanted to multiply by... Oh, let me use the same color. What if I wanted to multiply by 2 on both sides? And let's keep the inequality symbol here. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6. And is this true? Is 8 greater than negative 6? Is negative 6 less than 8? Here's negative 6. Here's 8. Yes. 8 is bigger. Negative 6 is smaller. It works. So far, no problems. What about division? What if I wanted to divide? So what if I divided negative 3 by 2 and I divided 4 by 2? What would happen? Well, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Negative 3 divided by 2 is negative 1.5. And can I keep the inequality? Is this true? Well, here is positive 2. Here is negative 1.5. Between negative 1 and negative 2 is negative 1.5. Is negative 1.5 less than 2? Is 2 greater than negative 1.5? Yes. So this checks out. That works as well. So far I've used addition, I've used subtraction, I've used multiplication, I've used division, and everything has worked. I haven't run into any problems. I kept the inequalities facing the same direction that they were facing originally, and I have not run into any problems. Everything worked. Let's try it again. This time I'm going to multiply by a negative number. I'll just stick with 2. It doesn't have to be 2. I'm just sticking with 2 for all of these examples. What if I multiply by a negative number? What do I get? Well, negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. And 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And what if I were to keep the inequality symbol the same as it was originally? Would I get something that is still true? Is 6 less than negative 8? Is negative 8 greater than 6? Well, here's negative 8. Here's 6. Uh-oh. No. No. Doesn't work. I ran into a problem. 6 is not less than negative 8. It's bigger than negative 8. Negative 8 is smaller than 6. So I multiplied by a negative number here, and this turned out to be all wrong. So what do I have to do? I'm going to have to flip that inequality. Instead of the point being on the left and the mouth being on the right, I'm going to have to put the point on the right and the mouth on the left. So if I flip this, then I get 6 is bigger than negative 8. Negative 8 is smaller than 6. So now it works out. we go. All right. And what happens if I decide I want to divide by a negative number? Let's just stick with 2, negative 2. What happens? Well, I get positive 1.5 on this side. Remember, negative divided by negative is positive. And a positive divided by negative is negative, so I'm going to get negative 2 on this side. What if I were to keep the inequality the same? Is this true? Is negative 2 bigger than positive 1.5? Here's positive 1.5. Here's negative 2. No! Negative 2 is smaller. So I am going to have to change this to this. I have to flip the inequality. And now, here we have 1.5 is bigger than negative 2. 1.5 is bigger than negative 2. Negative 2 is smaller. So after I flip the inequality, then I get a true statement. So, did I have to do that when I added or when I subtracted? No. Did I have to do that when I multiplied or when I divided by a positive number? No. And I didn't do any examples, but if I added a negative number, that's just like subtracting. And if I subtract a negative number, that's just like adding. I didn't do those examples here, but those would have worked also. You can try it yourself if you want. I only had to flip the inequality signs after I multiplied or divided by a negative number. After I flipped them, then I got a true statement. If I had not flipped them, then I would have gotten a false statement. Okay, that's that.